Happy birthday, Scorpio. This is your birthday month, and wow, we got a lot of good things coming here for you. And why is that? Well, let's just first of all say I'm so sorry about the audio. Last month, new software, big blooper. Couldn't fix it once it was uploaded, but it should be that much better here for you here this month. But let's get into it, because when I say it's a big month for you, well, not only is it a new solar return, right? If you look over here, you got the sun in the first house. That's all about you. It's your personality, the I am that we have internally. But hey, we got this beautiful, beautiful new moon in this area in your sign. And, you know, we always put our intentions up there on a new moon. This month, it will be happening here on November 15th. So more power to you, Scorpios, that have your birthday right around these dates, because you will have it so exact to your sun. But regardless, it's going to be good for all of you. And when we place our intentions, you know, I always get these questions. It's like, why doesn't the power of manifestation happen for me? You know, it's like, why does it happen for others? Well, the magical key is to know where your new moon is in that particular month. Because if you're having intentions for everything else, but not necessarily where the new moon is showing up, well, those intentions may still work. You know, you might manifest them down the road, though. They take, you know, back seat. The front seat here is your first house. It's about you, your personality, what you want, the I am in you. So the priority of your intentions this month is for you to think about, what do you want? What do you need? If you, for example, want to have a little bit stronger presence in the world in the oncoming year until the new moon next year comes into the same area, this is what you would want to say. I wish to have more presence in the world. I wish to be respected more this year. Because the new moon isn't just going to last until next new moon next month. No, no, no. It is going to stay there, and it's going to tour the whole chart, as you see here, until it gets back. So the power of this intention can last with you for 12 months. I want more presence in the world, to be recognized for my values, who I am, how I come across. Coming across has everything to do with the ascendants. That's the first house. This is also why I tell you guys to listen to your rising sign reading, right? Because that's the energy we project out into the world. It's the energy that we receive from the world, right? So that chart will tell you where all that action and activity is. And when I say listen to your moon sign reading, it's for, because the moon is how we reflect, how we react. It's more the emotional chart that we can expect in the upcoming month. This is your solar reading. This is how you're going to be radiating this month. But do go check where the new moon is in the other two charts. Then you have your top priority, first house, here where it's showing. You can look at your moon sign reading and look at where that new moon is. That should be your secondary intention for the month, so that you can power that up. And then, of course, your rising sign will also show you where that new moon is, and then that should be your third priority. If you do that, the power of attraction will work like magic for you. Okay, that's my key. That's my little secret to you guys, because I love you all. All right, so what else we have here? Well, the sun cruising through your sign, of course, first house. But look up here in the 12th house, Mercury retrograde there in October. If you're listening to this forecast in October, do know that there's a lot of communication that could go a little bit haywire. I know that you're all up to spiff about how Mercury retrograde works, right? So if there's any important communications, make sure that you verify that they're hearing what you're actually saying. You might need them to repeat what you just said, just to make sure that there's not going to be any miscommunications. You might feel that somebody around you might be ghosting you a little bit on and off, and I only say that because it's your 12th house, and Venus is there as well. 12th house is what's happening behind the veil, right? There might be a little less communication that might be a little upsetting to you. It's like, why am I not hearing from this partner if you're out dating, and yeah, right? But it is still giving you some insights as to where they're at. I would listen to their chart for this reading this month too, just to see where it's going on and taking action for them where that Mercury retrograde is. It could be in any one of the other houses. And then you'll get an instant insight as to why maybe they're ghosting. Maybe they're working on a lot of stress. Say they have Mercury retrograde in their 8th house and they're all worried about money and taxes and, not getting the promotion or the paycheck that they were expecting. Maybe they have too much stress to communicate their romantic side. Then you'll go, oh, so that's where their attention is working this month, right? So you don't have to take it personally. So do check their charts, see where their retrogrades are going on with that Mercury. That will help you a lot. Now, on an upscale of the 12th house, it's not just ghosting and disappearances, right? It's a very spiritual house. And I love to say that, Scorpio, because you're such a divine being, right? There's a lot taking place in your subconscious mind, your higher self, your higher mind. You're intuiting so much. It's a very psychic place. And to have Venus there, don't be surprised if you're feeling, you're hearing, sensing your partner with telepathic messages. I see that a lot with 12th house placements, where we're just that much more connected here and in our higher chakras, right? So that can be quite unique. For those of you who haven't felt it, you might start feeling it this month, where when somebody's thinking about us, we can have ringing in the air. We can get that little heart palpitation in the heart chakra going on. If you're feeling this, well, then that may be them thinking about you. And it's all about becoming aware of these spiritual energies so that you can be more one and whole with yourself. And you are a very intuitive sign, being Scorpio, from before. But this month, there's a lot going on in dream state, the astral state, and so forth. So since we were speaking about the moons, let's go down to the full moon, November 30th, here at the 8 degrees in Gemini. You have had certain things going on here. Well, this has been pinged, okay? But you're going to be receiving now. I feel by the end of the month, something that you've worked for, you may see fruition on it. Maybe it's a payout. Maybe it's child support that's been delayed that now will come. Maybe with a little extra back pay, right? It could be a stimulus check, whatever it is for you. This is where it should be coming in. Plus, of course, the 8th house is a Scorpio-ruled house, right? So for you, Scorpios, more than the others in the zodiac, you might just have a very beautiful, romantic, intimate, passionate full moon time here with your partner. So let's move on to Mars. We've already touched upon here both Mercury and Venus. Well, I want to spend a little bit more time with that Venus, okay? We were saying that, yes, it is in the 12th house, that spiritual connection, that heart palpitation, but it's in the sign of Libra, and you know how Libra always wants balance. To balance the scales, to find one's zen, right? So for you, this is a great month to take a little time, step back a little bit, and find that zen that is within you, right? Have a little time off with music, meditation, do some yoga, catch up with your own inner needs, right? Because you've been so busy this year. 2020 has been a big year for you, Scorpio. And, when we take out a lot of that energy, outgoing energy, think about ebbs and flows, right? There's a time where we have to pull within so that we can refill. So it's a beautiful month for you to refill those energies, right? And get back on track there with you and your needs. But this Mars down here, 6th house, okay? And still in the sign of Aries. And you know how Aries is. It's such a go-getter. It just, you see it, you want it, you go get it. That's how it normally works when Mars is direct. But when it's retrograde, It's like you could be treading water, putting out all this energy, and still yet feeling like not getting anywhere, right? But, nothing is in vain in the universe. Everything happens for a reason. This slowdown, I feel, has been really good for you in the area of catching up with yourself and your day-to-day routines. Now, that could be at work, your workspace, right? Or interacting with certain people at work. This is about work, not necessarily career. That's your 10th house. You don't really have anything going on up there. That doesn't mean your career isn't ongoing. It is, but it's where the planets are showing up, is where you will be experiencing a lot this month. Now, Mars, the good news is that Mars is going to pick up speed and go direct again, and you'll see that from November 14th here. And of course, it's still going to be with us for a while until January, so there's still ample time to really set down what it is you want for the rest of this year, actually for the next 2 years, right? Mars is not coming back to this area before 2 years from now. So whatever you're doing right now, you're setting the foundation of work and energy and those things that are really, really exciting and important. You are such a worker, Scorpio, because you want things good. You want quality. Quality is everything for you, and if not, you just really don't care for it, do you? Right? So I can see how you've been working on trying to perfect what is important there, and also weeding out. There's things I see that you just want to eradicate, be done with. Especially look at your third house down over here, which is communication. This is what has been working for you throughout this year, 2020. Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, right? Jupiter wants to expand, and Saturn wants to kind of contract and limit, right? So, we've had these double signals. It's like Saturn's holding us back because of social distancing and travel. Third house is travel. It's like, nope, can't do that. Can't do that. Nope, can't do that either, right? That has been a little bit, not just a little bit, it has been a nuisance, because Jupiter is right there saying, but I need to go on a road trip, I need to travel, I want to travel. And so conflicting energies kind of like, really squeezes this Pluto right here, which is right in the middle of them. But the good side, the upside of that, is how Pluto is transforming us, finding out essentials. What is super important to us, what it is we desire, what it is we want, what area we want to expand, which area we want to limit. For you, where is that? That limitation, I'm sorry, my social media is just going haywire here. Yes, what is really important for you is communication. That's first rule of third house, right? Your third house is all about you, your higher self, saying, how can I grow? How can I expand with Jupiter? How can I become deeper and more pertinent to those things that matter to me? How can I present this out to the world? How can I renew myself? That's Pluto, right? Cutting away all that dead weight. That's probably been with you for a few years, right? How can I cut that back? For that, we're grateful for Pluto. For that, we're grateful for Jupiter looking out at the big span. Jupiter is not going to be back here for another 12 years. This year, in spite of the limitations that we've had with COVID and social distancing, having Saturn in this particular area, in spite of all of that, there is something beautiful. Because you've had to spend so much time, and all of them were retrograde too, slowing it down even more, right? Giving you the opportunity to really think about this, to really think, do I want my life to be this way in the future or no? So what is hindering me? What is holding me back? What circumstances are blocking me? Saturn challenging me, right? What can I learn from this? Of course, we always have lessons with all the planets, especially with Saturn, right? But under this lockdown, I think it's been more you looking at, What do I really want? It's like it's been squeezing the essence out of you. And Jupiter is saying, well, you know what? I used to do this way in the past. Not anymore. Through the slowdown, you've been listening to your inner self, the creativity. Your creativity, mind you, comes up here in the 5th house, right, with Neptune. You're highly creative. Listen to it. It's been speaking to you, trying to filter down through inspiration what it is you're dreaming about. Your dreams are always where Neptune is. That's your spiritual mission on this planet. And for these years, while Neptune is here, is showing you where your spiritual mission is to create. The 3rd house is, how do I communicate that? How do I communicate my creativity, whether it is through arts, painting, sculpting, dancing, music, whatever it is, writing, right? And how is that going to be communicated? Look at that 3rd house. It's beautiful. I love it. You are going to find now, and especially this month is super important because of that new moon and the sun over there, which is your persona, you, yourself, the I am, and what you want. 3rd house, looking for a way to open up that door. How do I get out there? How do I project who I am creatively? 5th house. Personality, 1st house. How do I take that 3rd house communication and project it out to the world so I can present to them who I really am today, these days? Whatever you're doing now, Scorpio, is going to linger with you for years to come. Jupiter is not going to give you this opportunity for another 12 years. 2020 has been super important in spite of COVID, social distancing. Forget that. You know, when we don't have the outer space, where do we go? We go to that inner space, inner self, right? You've met yourself in a new way. This year, we still have a few degrees left of Jupiter. It's 21 degrees currently. It will move into Aquarius, which is a whole new vibration, all right, and a whole new area for it to have its playing field. So do it while you can. You only got 4 degrees left for Saturn to set down the foundation of what it is you're trying to do now. That's going to be another 28, 29 years before you get this opportunity for the lessons it's been trying to teach you. Saturn can be a tough teacher, but oh my God, we will have to love him in the aftermath, because it was through him we learned how to penetrate certain gates of consciousness, and moving beyond our comfort zone, right? Anything inside of Saturn we're comfortable with, we can do this, we can do that, no problem. And then here comes Saturn saying, you got to go through the gate to expose this or that of your personality. And it's like, no, I can't do that. That's scary. That's a lot of, pressure. That's a lot of attention that I don't want. I mean, it's those things. But you know what? When we get out of that comfort zone, do we grow? Yes. We'll be happy for it later on? Absolutely. Got to love it. So, this is why we love astrology. It looks ahead for those long-term things, not just for this month. Do know where your outer planets are. They are the ones who are shape-shifting you into who you are becoming through the choices of the here and now. In our monthly videos, we get direction. Where we are today, where we're heading tomorrow, this next month, showing us where to use our energy to the highest max so that we can have that power of manifestation come in, right? So, Uranus, well, you have had it for a couple of years now. Scorpio, where there has been a lot of on and off, touch and go, surprises, good surprises, not so good surprises, changes, maybe changes that you were desiring, some undesirable changes. We never know what we get with Uranus. It's going to be in this area of your long-term relationships for quite a while. Uranus's message to us is to let go, let God. If things are disappearing out of your life, well, so be it. Bless it and kiss it goodbye. Trust it. We have to learn to trust. This is really hard, especially for people who have a lot of security needs, wanting to hang on to. The more we hang on to something, that no longer behooves us, the worse those tests are going to be. Uranus will come and just knock it out of the ballpark, right? And give you onto a new game. When we learn to tell ourselves to let go and let God, hey, we are liberated. We are free. Where are you freeing up? Where is Uranus talking to you, Scorpio? It is talking to your 7th house. Long-term relationships. Maybe you don't want long-term relationships anymore, right? Uranus loves to hang free a little bit, to be a little bit more open. Yeah. But Taurus, though, it's in the sign of Taurus, so this is hard because you have Taurus on your 7th house. Taurus wants security. It wants this one person. It wants to have everything that you can kind of trust hands-on 3D, right? But then Uranus is saying, 3D, that's only a certain limited dimension. Through liberation, freeing oneself, spirit doesn't have a 3D dimension. Our physical body does, but spirit is free to come and go and roam and explore and those things. Once we integrate that within our consciousness, that Uranian energy, we come to find that being liberated spiritually, we can have many types of relationships. We're not necessarily talking, physical, sexual, in that sense, though for some of you that might ring true too. But there is a way of finding the beauty of Taurus, the beauty of that substantial 3D hands-on that Taurus represents. And it represents love too, ruled by Venus, right? But there's a different flow. It's like listen to the music, do the dance. Some relationships are meant to last for a long time. Some relationships are only meant to be with you for a short period of time. So for those of you seeing that there's on-off short-term relationships in the dating world, hey, learn from them. Each of those partners are reflecting, mirroring to you who you are, what you want, what you no longer want. They're only there to give you that lesson. Do I want it? Yes or no? Go on. So for that, there is, as humans, we live on this linear timeline, past, present, future, and it can really slow things down. But from a multi-dimensional view, time, there is no time, and all time is one. And so, a 3-week relationship can give you more than a 30-year relationship that's stagnant with no movement. Here you can have this Uranian relationship that stirs up the waters and the emotions and the feelings, pinging on all those facets, and whoa, we grow in 3 weeks. More than what that long-term does. So, yeah, don't look at success in a relationship pertinent to a timeline. That is not the measure of success. The measure of success in relationships is how much are you getting from it? How much are you growing in that short amount of time? This is your lesson over these next few years. Let me just tell you, but hey, Scorpio, have a wonderful birthday month. Love to all of you, and I will see you next month. Go listen to your moon and your rising sign chart. I'll see you next month. Bye now.